All right, everybody. I'm really excited to have Scott from This Nomadic Idea. That's his YouTube channel. Lives in an RV full time, and met him and his wife through our miserable effort to try to renovate an RV and live in it full time. But hey, you were the bright spot because we met you guys. And you're at Yellowstone. You've been living at Yellowstone for months. And then my neighbor tells me Yellowstone's being wiped off the face of the earth. And so I'm like, I should see what Scott's doing. Okay, Scott, tell me about this video. What's going on there?
Yeah, so that bridge is between Livingston and Gardner, which is the north entrance of the oldest entrance of Yellowstone. That's along the Yellowstone River. And that was a pretty big bridge, actually. That is off of Highway 89 now. That highway is completely closed right now. And you could just see the force of the Yellowstone River taking that bridge and just washing it away. Most of the infrastructure out here is probably over 50 years old. So, a bridge like that is just not going to be able to sustain that type of water. As most of the bridges in Yellowstone were washed away this week. So, yeah, it's, it's pretty devastating.
Before I show any more videos, tell me about what has the weather been like that's precipitated this? When did it start and when did you guys start seeing things get really bad?
Well, about 3 weeks ago, we had an epic snowstorm. So during Memorial Day weekend, our power was out for 3.5 days. We got in City, we had about 13 inches of snow. And then up in the mountains, though, they got 3 to 4 feet of snow. And so all of that water came rushing down when we got all this rain. So we've had a really weird winter. We feel like our winter started in late March. So between March and the end of April, I think we got probably about 3 feet of snow just in Cook City and at the northeast entrance. But of course, we're at 8,000 feet. But the Beartooth Mountains go up to, I believe they go up to 12,000 feet. So that's a lot of snow coming down from the mountains when it rains. But like today, it's cold. I mean, I'll bet you it's like 57 degrees today for a high. So it's been weird weather.
And that's not normal. I don't know what's normal for Yellowstone.
It was a late winter for Yellowstone. In fact, the joke was in Yellowstone was the winter that never came but isn't going away. So it was just a really late winter. During March, there was about 3 weeks in March where it was like 60 degrees and there was no snow on the ground. And then, like I said, between the end of March and really up until Memorial Day, we got snow after snow after snow after snow, and it just seemed like it was never going to stop snowing. And then the other day, it rained probably from 9 o'clock in the morning. Probably through 11 o'clock at night, but it was a steady, hard rain. It just never let up. And we kind of knew that things were going to go bad in the afternoon when we just saw how high the water was getting and the impact of the water, how fast. We have a creek that runs through Cook City. It's called Soda Butte, that runs into Lamar Valley and hooks up with the Lamar River. And we knew that water was going to be really high. We just didn't think it would gust over the roads.
So did Yellowstone start announcing that people needed to consider evacuating or they were going to close down before all the damage happened? What kind of warning were you guys given?
Not much. It happened very quickly. Yellowstone is really good with, in fact, I would recommend anybody who comes into Yellowstone to get on their traffic alert, text you what Yellowstone closes roads all the time. That's not really that abnormal. Either because of an accident or because of weather. And but in this case, that water coming down from the mountains came in so quickly and so fast that, I mean, we just didn't realize that it was going to shut down everything all at the same time. And that's really what happened. The National Guard was up here yesterday evacuating people out of Silvergate, because the guests that were staying in one of the lodges has to cross Soda Butte Creek. That bridge went out. That bridge washed away, so they could not get back. So we had the National Guard out here trying to evacuate people in Silvergate, because when that water came up, it came up fast, and there was really no time to really do anything.
Is that the video that we see of the bulldozer helping people get out?
Yeah, that video is people desperately trying to get out of Silvergate, because the northeast entrance, once you go past the northeast entrance, you drop about 2,500 feet into Lamar Valley. And Lamar Valley, the water was already up over that road. So the only way out was to go back up through Cook City, up through the mountain, and go up Chief Joseph. Hopefully all the bridges were intact up there. And you go up to about 9,000 feet, and then you drop back down into Cody, Wyoming. And so if you were in your car and you were on the other side of Soda Butte Creek, you were able to drive there. But that piece of heavy equipment was actually blocking some of the landslide debris and some of the water that was crossing the road, so people could get out. It was, it was pretty hectic there for a minute. And I'd lie to you, people weren't in panic mode there for a second. We've had landslides up there. We get avalanches up there all the time. We had, 4 people die this year with snowmobile accidents due to avalanches. So having a mudslide or a rock slide in Yellowstone or in around where we are, that's not that uncommon. But having the whole road wash away and gone, that's kind of new to us.
Mm-hmm. And now it's kind of starting to get into peak tourist time. So you don't know what kind of experience any of these people have with conditions like this. They could be coming from places where there's no rain. They've never driven through a situation like that, or had a situation like that, or they don't know about avalanches. They don't know what to do. I mean, you just don't know what the level of experiences with people in a situation like that. They could be coming from anywhere. For all you wine drinkers out there, go get one of my favorite Malbecs from Argentina and support free speech and my channel while sipping a robust, high altitude Malbec. In fact, not only does one of these bottles of wine that you'll get in the trio come from almost 9,000 feet, which gives it a very distinct flavor, they're all very unique and they're very good. These are wines that you really can't get at a grocery store. And why would you want to go to a grocery store anyway, when you can go to AllisonWinePromo.com, get 50% off of my favorite wines and 50% off shipping, support free speech while you're at it. What about this video, the helicopter video that the National Park Service released, where we're looking at just the washed out road and the river there?
That is the main thoroughfare of Yellowstone National Park. That's at the north entrance. And that goes from Gardner's in low, relatively low elevation, and you drive up Mammoth Hot Springs. That section of the park is open all year. That is also the section where we, up in Cook City, get our goods and services. The road is also used for trash pickup, garbage pickup. And so that road is gone. I have no idea how long that's going to take to repair that road. I'm sure it's going to take at least a year, maybe longer. And that, I think, the whole thing, that is the most devastating part of this flood, is that cuts a lot of people off from the park. As far as people that live and work there and need to get goods and services, because that road that's gone goes right into the north entrance. That north entrance follows the Yellowstone River all the way to Livingston. There is no other road. That's it. So that cuts people off from Livingston, Montana, and then cuts everybody off from Gardner that wants to get up. And the only way to get out for us now, hopefully, if Lamar Valley is, I don't know what the road condition down in Lamar Valley are, but assuming those roads are still there, our only way out of the park is literally, it's almost a 3-hour drive just to get out of the park.
Wow.
Drive through West Yellowstone. So for commerce, that's a devastating blow to the town of Gardner and Cook City and Silvergate.
Have you gone to any of the businesses and seen how they're being affected, or are they talking about that right now? I mean, because I would assume this could, God, knowing the federal government, I mean, I don't know, this could go, this could be years before those roads are repaired. I don't know how quickly they're going to get on that. So, yeah, it could really be devastating for those local businesses. Do you know anybody who's working there? Have you talked to anybody about that?
Well, my wife is the general manager of the Yellowstone Trading Post up in Cook City. The owners and everybody had just come out 3 days before the flood to launch a new business. They've all renovated. They spent a lot of money renovating some of the older buildings in Cook City. And yeah, I would think that I would say that the restaurants and the people that depend on that road being open are in panic mode right about now. And I'm hoping that this is a FEMA type situation where both Montana and Wyoming have, contacted FEMA, and they're going to get funds immediately to try to repair some of these bridges, especially that road going down to Gardner. We were just on that road a week ago, or maybe 2 weeks ago, and that one part of the video where the water is going underneath the bridge, we were standing up on top of that bridge looking at mountain goats. So, that's a real high impact road. So I'm hoping, FEMA gets involved somehow so they can start repairing that road.
Tell me about this video where you were talking about there was a baseball field that used to be there and now it's just water.
So Soda Butte Creek runs up the hill. It runs kind of behind Cook City. When it gets down to the ball, it splits, and the creek actually goes behind the ball field. That creek flooded bad. It actually took the fence away from the ball field. There's a bridge back there where people cross every day and they live. That bridge is gone. And so that whole section of Cook City literally washed away. So the road to get back there, now we have a recycling plant there. Because we have so much bear activity, we don't have garbage cans in Cook City. Everyone has to come to that refuse and dump their garbage. There's no garbage cans anywhere. So that building partially is underwater. And that's I work for Park County. So that area right there literally washed away. So yeah, it's pretty devastating. And that one part of the video, so you see a little bit of a kind of a waterfall. That's the road. So wow. I don't know how long that's going to take to repair. The people that bridge washed away, the people that lived back there, they were trapped. So I don't know how they have to cross that creek in some way to get out. And so I have no idea what they're doing or if they're going to fix it. The good news is that there was budget money to fix those two bridges this year. Those bridges were supposed to be repaired. So I assume that that maybe it's a good thing, but for those people that live back there, it's certainly going to be a hassle for them to get around.
All right. Well, Scott, thanks for giving us the update on that. This is your channel, This Nomadic Idea on YouTube. So everybody can go subscribe and check out what you're doing. Are you going to start doing some updates about Yellowstone? Any idea on that?
Yeah, I have a bunch of shorts on there, like with wildlife shorts and things like that, that
Uh-huh.
I try to post on a regular basis. But yeah, I'm going to be probably putting a bunch of shorts on there, just showing everybody the damage and like what we went through. And I think everybody's still in panic mode, but I am going to be putting a bunch of shorts up there so people can kind of see, just kind of see, how high that water is.
Yeah, just from people who are actually there and not just necessarily going to, the news about it. Yeah, and I guess that's my only other question. Have you seen anything on the news that you feel like is inaccurate that you would like to get the word out about? Hey, they're saying this, but this isn't true, or anything like that. Since that's what I cover is media bias and censorship and stuff like that. But maybe they're getting it right this time.
Well, I would say this. I would say that, um, I would say that the economic impact of these type things are never really fully covered. And so I would urge everybody to just, support those local businesses in the park. Don't be so quick to cancel your plans. And just keep looking for updates as far as the Yellowstone National Park. Yellowstone National Park, they are very resilient, and we'll see how fast that park can reopen. But I would not underestimate the resiliency of that area and how fast they can get up and going again. But Cook City is open, so you can visit it through Cody, Wyoming. That road appears to be okay. Of course, it'd be okay. It's up in the mountains. You do have to. You do have to. I wouldn't tow anything over 40 feet down the road, but but you can get to some of the park from Cody, Wyoming. So come on out. We have our restaurants, we have 2 gas stations, so and we have
Awesome.
power right now, so we're in good shape.
That's good. Yeah, power is always nice. All right, Scott, thanks again for doing this. I appreciate it. If you watch this video on Rumble, don't forget to join my locals community. It's super easy. Check out that red join button at the top of the screen and then click on support. And that'll give you access and the ability to chat during my weekly exclusive editorial board meetings. I have them out in the barn with my horses. You can give me feedback from the week before, story ideas for the week ahead. You can tell me how your life's going and what you wish I was doing or not doing. It's a great way to connect, and like I said, it's exclusive to locals. You can also put in questions ahead of time for interviews. So join my locals community. It really is one of the main ways that I'm able to continue doing this work. So thank you to everybody who's already on locals, and I will see you over there.